So I decided to come outside to shoot my vlog this week, and it's just super bright. It's beautiful. Like, I'm in a t-shirt. It's awesome, but it's very bright. So I'm in my kids' playhouse. Hope you don't mind. It's very nice up here. Maybe I'll just do things from here from now on. Anyways, so what I learned this week, the first week of March, 2024, is like the same but opposite of last week in some ways, which is basically that like limitations are limiting. We discussed that last time, but like this time it was like the shadow side of limitations being limiting. So like last week, I feel like I was just in a space of being able to more fully accept my limitations, how much I could get done in a week. And this week, it was like the reality that sometimes you don't control maybe what you feel like needs done is the best way to put it. Because like, okay, so I'm making a pivot in my business where I'm trying to focus more on editing rather than doing like full on all parts of video production. And so that means I have like some projects that I'm doing that are me doing everything. And then I have some projects that I'm taking on that are just editing. And then I have things like this podcast studio that I'm trying to get up and running. And so it was one of those weeks where it was just like, not everything's going to get done. And that makes me anxious. Whereas the week before was like, not everything's going to get done. And that feels so freeing and that feels great. So it's just different, like just a different, just a different way of seeing the week and seeing how like limitations can go both ways. And this is like everything in life, right? Like everything in life probably has something good in it if you are willing to find it, and also has something bad in it if you're willing to find it. And so, yeah, this was just the week of seeing the shadow side of limitations and seeing maybe the shadow side of my reaction or my way of accepting my limitations. Like, I'm not all the way there yet, right? And so maybe that's the lesson, is like, we're never quite all the way probably to fully accepting, because once we accept like a certain set of limitations, like probably a new set gets added, and those we're uncomfortable with accepting. So something that did help this past week was something that I've been better at so far this year, which is organization. I think I've talked about this in a vlog before, just like sitting down and writing down my to-dos. And I've got this notebook, and I forgot to bring it out here with me, but it has like a to-do list that I can erase every week, but it's limited in its capacity, right? Like there's only so many spots on that list for me to fill in. And the nice part is most of what makes it on there are like I need to do them or I want to do them. So it already starts to help me like weed out the things that just need to go, which is great. But what I've noticed is that I usually don't get through everything, and I actually feel okay about it because I can look at that list and say like, I got like 3/4 of the things done that I wanted to do, or 2/3 or half of the things. And like, it actually feels good because you're seeing that there is actually progress. And I think that's one of the things I struggle with sometimes, is feeling like I'm making progress in a week. And so if I can look at that list and say, I've made progress because there's things checked off, gosh darn it, and I did that, like it makes me feel much better. So yeah, shadow side of limitations, the limitations of limitations, if you will. Just definitely like a more anxiety inducing week, but at the same time, I think what I learned last week is helping me understand what I'm feeling this week, and we'll go from there. So that's what I learned this week, first week of March 2024. See you next week, everybody. Bye.